If you're just getting into video editing, you're gonna have all these different things you have to worry about. Do I need a new computer? Do I need a better keyboard? Do I need another monitor? And today I'm gonna break down all of these decisions for you. I'm gonna have some of the best gear that you're gonna need to get started in video editing. And in my 10-year journey, I've been through a lot of gear and I've made a lot of mistakes too, just buying different things and things not working out or they're not being exactly what I need, so I had to return them. So I'm gonna keep you from doing that with everything in this video. Let's get into it. So if you're like me 10 years ago and I first started my video editing journey, you don't have much money. So what you have to do is figure out how to make the best of what you have, right? I suggest, especially when you're first starting out, go ahead and get you a decently nice gaming laptop. You get you a nice gaming laptop, they're gonna have all the specs in there you need to at least get started. You may not be able to do all these crazy different renders in After Effects, but it's gonna let you get everything on the timeline, it's gonna let you render properly, it's gonna allow you to actually get some basic video edits done, and eventually you'll be able to ramp up to something much better. So I suggest the Asus Zephyrus G14. I've used this thing for the last 3 years and it has really held up well as far as my insane workload too. I've worked on commercials, films, documentaries, and sports on this little laptop. And you wouldn't think just from looking at it that this thing is even worth the money. But it has a very nice NVIDIA RTX graphics card in it. I think mine has a 2080 Super. Yours could actually be better because it'll be a newer version. And I got the AMD Ryzen 7 to get that render time down. And it has been a godsend for the last couple of years. So I'd say if you were new or if you're looking to get a little bit better equipment, go for the Asus Zephyrus G14. And by the way, all these things will be linked down below in the description for you just to click on and check out. Now, obviously, if you're going to be getting a laptop, the monitors on the laptops are going to be way too small for you to get work done. So what I suggest is you look for an external monitor that you can connect to your laptop or computer, whatever you decide to go with, through HDMI. What I'm using is this beautiful AOPA 27-inch IPS panel, and this thing has everything you need for color grading. And the size is just enough to fit your timeline well and to not have to squint your eyes and to not have to strain and get headaches. Side note, I recommend you get a monitor that has some type of blue light filter because you're going to be working hundreds of thousands of hours on this thing. You do not want to get eye problems, headaches during edits. It's one of the worst feelings ever. I haven't had a headache during an edit in a very long time because I set my blue light filter up to be the max it could be. You only turn the blue light filter off if you're color grading. Just a side note. So now you got your laptop and your monitor set up and you're like, hell yeah, it's time to go. Not quite yet. You're almost there. I recommend you go ahead and get an external mouse and an external keyboard to not have to use the laptop to actually edit on. These laptop keys are going to get very hot the more editing you do and the more you have your GPU run. So I suggest you go ahead and get an external mouse and an external keyboard, and we don't have to worry about that excess heat all over your hands. The keyboard and mouse I recommend actually in one combo. I love Logitech, and this isn't sponsored, by the way. I'm not sponsored by Logitech. They've been acquiring all these different brands lately, and Logitech has been making some crazy improvements and innovations on their gear. So I recommend you go ahead and grab this baby here. This is the Logitech G915 10 keyless keyboard. As you can see, completely wireless. Battery life is insane. Keys are nice and clickety and small. Now, as far as the mouse, I will go ahead and get the Logitech G604. This is completely wireless as well. Has multiple keys on the side, multiple buttons on the side here. Beautiful scroll wheel that can go however you want it to go. And this is going to get you started as well when you need to make these really fast clicks. And because this thing is completely wireless, I can move it all over the mouse pad without worrying and not having any problem. And people say, is there a difference between wireless and wired? It all depends. Most people game with wired, and most people that do productivity and work are most of the time on wireless. That's why I suggest you go ahead and get these Logitech wireless peripherals. So now we have your laptop, your monitor, and your wireless keyboard and mouse. So what the hell else could you possibly need to get started? Well, you're gonna have some client work come in, and this is where you're gonna need to figure out how to deal with storage. And I recommend for your first investment, you go ahead and get you a nice 2 terabyte SSD. You can get a SanDisk, Western Digital, whatever you want. I use a SanDisk. Go ahead and get you one of these, plug her on in, and start putting your client work on this SSDs and work off of the SSDs. Over my 10 years in the industry, there is a reason to also have the hard drives, the HDDs, the externals as well. Oftentimes when you finish a project, or so you think you finish a project, you think about deleting this footage. And I don't think it's the best thing to do unless it's been months and months and months have passed and you guys are not using this footage anymore. I still have 2 terabytes of footage from my clients that I work with in the sports industry, and I keep all of his clips because you never know when the time will come where we can use that clip for social media or maybe to go on his app or anything like that. So that's why I recommend you also get an external HDD. I have this big monstrous Seagate, and this Seagate holds up to 6 terabytes. Really, you can get 6 terabyte, 8 terabyte, 10 terabytes, and external hard drives are really cheap. So I suggest you go ahead and grab you one of these to start offloading all your client work off of your SSD onto this bad baby right here. So now you got your laptop, monitor, keyboard and mouse, and your storage. There's only one last piece left you need to get started. And I suggest you go ahead and get yourself a webcam so you can talk to your clients during Zoom meetings and set up Zoom meetings without having this blank face. So I'm using this Logitech C920, and this is everything you need to start talking to your clients face to face over Zoom or whatever case may be. This is in 1080p, 30 FPS. You don't need anything more better than that. Everybody may tell you to get a professional camera or something that's more high quality than this. Just get you a Logitech C920 that shoots 1080p, 30 frames per second, and talk to your clients and start making this money, man, for real. So after all this, you should finally have a video editing setup and a video editing studio. Now you have everything you need to start completing these jobs and getting higher quality gigs. You may run into footage from Red, Blackmagic, or you never know what project you may get put onto. And this setup is gonna be optimized for all of that. You're gonna have everything you need to deal with high codecs and a lot of that rougher footage that you're gonna get from these higher quality cameras. So now that you have all this, check the description down below for all the links to all of these different items. And let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what you guys are rocking right now in your current video editing setup. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.